Greetings, Toiletarians. I'm your host, Toilet Terry, and you guys are all watching Toilet Talk with Terry. That's me. Obviously, the discussion topic for this episode is hilarious names and nicknames. Let's face it, we've all come across people with unusual or just hilarious names or nicknames. One time, I went to Google and I searched funny, hilarious, or unusual names or nicknames. A lot of pages came up. There was this one in particular that had a list of most unusual and kind of hilarious names. For example, I don't know if there still is, but there was this fugitive known as Donald Duck. Donald Duck. Yeah. But not only have I seen the most ridiculous names ever on the internet, I have also met some friendly faces whom those ridiculous names belong to. I had a couple of classmates in first grade. Their names were Jacket and Pants. You heard me. Jacket Rodriguez and Pants Patel. How weird is that? I also had this friend in first grade. His name was Qforius. Alright, not Qforius, Qutorius. Reminds me of this one time when me, my sister, my mom, and dad were all eating dinner in the kitchen. This was years ago. We decided to, over dinner, play the alphabet game. And here's how it works. So you start with the letter A, and you have to name something in the kitchen that starts with the letter A. Annabelle, my little sister, she went first. And she said, A is for Annabelle. That would be me. And we were all like, okay, now let's move on to B. Then it was my turn, and I was like, Bumblebee. And then everyone freaked out, and I was like, just kidding. Just kidding. Does cookbook count if you take the word cook off of the cover? Book? Actually, there's not just a cookbook. There's a ton of books in this kitchen. Okay, that takes care of the letter B. And then we kept going from C to D, all across the alphabet until we happen upon the letter Q. We do not know what to say for that one. Like, nothing in the kitchen started with the letter Q until my dad spoke up and said, oh, how about Qutorius? I'm like, he doesn't even live here. He then got up from his chair and went opening all the cabinets in the kitchen, saying, Qutorius, yoo-hoo, where are you? Qutorius, a chipmunk! Just kidding. Daddy, look, it's Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks. No, that's a squirrel. Get out of here! Yeah. Anywho, all this talk about elementary school also reminds me of one time when we had an art teacher. The art teacher at where I went to elementary school, believe it or not, her name was pronounced Mrs. Wiener. And I'm being for real. I'm not making this up. Our school had a strict no potty mouth policy. And for that reason, that being the only reason, we were not allowed to call her properly, like Mrs. Wiener. We had to call her Mrs. Weiner. How sick is that? Later on in middle school, I happen upon this girl. I meet a girl, and her first name is Doozy. And I'm like, Doozy? What kind of a first name is Doozy? Like, was it when you were born, and then after you got out of your mother's womb, you took a massive dump, and then they were all like, ooh, this one's a doozy. I could come up with a list of both people I've seen online and people I've met Come up with a list of all of them. Hilarious, unusual nicknames or names. Let's cut to the chase. I'm going to go down the list right now of the ones that I can remember up here. So there's in 6th grade, I met a guy named Guillermo Barrios. I also met someone named Aunt Frank. And then in 7th grade, I met a female student by the name of Darcy Latifa. I also met in 7th grade Dequarius, Monquavius, Pootquavius. And what was the other one? Gudu. Yes, his name was Gudu. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go into detail, but I'm going to be pretty honest with y'all. Gudu really did. He lived up to his name. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, end of. And then there was, in 8th grade, I met Carter McFarter, Tubby McFatso, Fat Negro, and Terry Cherry Berry. Seriously, parents? My gosh. You see, that's just wrong. Needless to say, the moral of this episode is be careful what you name your child. And that's all I have to say about that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this discussion, this video. Don't forget to hit that sub button for more upcoming content, which will be amazing. You won't want to miss it. Oh, and drop a like on this video if you liked it. Anywho, I guess this means peace out. Hold up.